Hi everybody, it's Pete here and welcome to Pete's Plastic Playground. Special edition today. I had the opportunity today to visit Cheltenham Model Centre. It's situated at 37 High Street in Cheltenham and the postcode is from memory GL51DX. Now in the adjacent St James Street there's a very big car park which is you can pay with your phone app on pay by phone, and it's just I guess 100-yard walk from there to the shop. Now I will say at this stage that I'm not associated with Cheltenham Model Centre as a business at all, and this video is being published with the kind permission of Trevor Morgan at Cheltenham Model Centre. I was warmly welcomed there and there are a number of friendly, knowledgeable and courteous staff to help you out. As you walk into the store, the models are situated on the right hand side. I suppose I'd guess there's about 12 metres of racking there actually. I don't know, I didn't measure it, but there's a great selection in there with manufacturers such as Hobby Boss, Tamiya, Revel and of course Airfix, which is where my principal interest lays. They're very well stocked with paints from a very wide selection of manufacturers. The bigger kits are on the uppermost shelves and I'm afraid the lighting wasn't very good up there, but the highlight for me was the new 1/24 scale Harrier from Airfix. They've got a wide selection of Humbrol paints, including the new dropper bottle type. Not a big fan of those personally, the experience hasn't been good. I prefer Aqua, Revel Aqua Colour actually, that's my favourite paint. But as I say, the shop is well stocked with all sorts of consumables for the modeler, and there's a choice of compressors and airbrush accessories as well. So there's plenty of adhesives, model filler, thinners and so on. Here's the Revel section, and they've got subjects such as civilian airliners and some space vehicles. There's a space shuttle and so on. And at the far end of the display is Airfix land. I don't think there's much in the Airfix catalogue that isn't available in this store at the moment. And the great thing as well is that all the kits have got a price label on, so you don't have to wonder how much it costs, whether it's too much, too expensive. And my opinion is actually that the prices are all fairly reasonably, or the kits are all fairly reasonably priced. There's a good varied selection from Airfix. As you can see, there's some starter sets of cars and aircraft, some ships. I can't help thinking that Airfix built too many of those lifeboats and too many of the Titanic. There's always dozens of them. Good to see plenty of small armour, including some vintage classics. And something that caught my eye is that the Sherman Calliope is on offer at £5.90, and there's a good number of those in there actually. Plenty of ships, HMS Victorious, HMS Devonshire, the Graf Spey, the Old Ark Royal, a good selection of 1/600 scale ships, and the range of Airfix is well covered, as you can see. Some good displays there. Nice civilian Spitfire, plenty of those in stock. Look, there's half a dozen of those. So no shortage of red boxes. The larger kits are at the bottom of the display, and there really is a good selection. There are the starter kits, and as you can see further down the shop, there's a massive model railway department. I heard somebody being given some really good advice on how to correct a fault on a digital locomotive. So there, look at the length of that display. Maybe it's not 12 metres, I don't know, but certainly a good extensive stock of plastic models and accessories available. There, the top shelf. As I said, the lighting wasn't too brilliant up there, and I only filmed this on my mobile phone. There's that lovely Harrier. I know it's an old kit, but I can see me getting one day. So there it is, the inside of Cheltenham Model Centre, and I hope you enjoyed that quick look around. I did make a purchase while I was there, and I'll feature this shortly. Hello again. Right, so here we are, back in familiar territory in the man cave, and I hope you enjoyed that look around Cheltenham Model Centre. I certainly found it a fascinating place. Really good shop with plenty of interesting stuff in there, and all in all, really good little visit to that particular store. As I mentioned, I did succumb, made a purchase, and so I just thought I'd spend a few minutes just at the end of the video to show you what came home with me. First of all, for the purposes of the forthcoming Lancaster bomber diorama, some RAF personnel, just to add some life to the occasion. There are a few figures in there which may come in handy, show some activity around the aircraft while it's on the ground. I think most people are familiar with this kit, and it shows on the back of the box the type of poses and figures that are in the set. So for instance, I don't think I'll have much use for this chap. You know, these sort of poses can come in handy for refueling and rearming activities. So that was number one. £4.95 I think for this little set. Sorry, £5 and 5p. I did say everything was marked up nicely. The next one, I've always been a great fan of Dogfight doubles ever since I was a little boy, and it began with a Hurricane and an ME 110, or a Spitfire and a Messerschmitt 109, or you could even go really exotic and have a MiG 17. And no, what was the Israeli and Arab one? Was it a MiG 17 and a Mirage? I think was available as a Dogfight double as well. I've got a few in the stash, including the Mosquito and the V1, the Doodlebug, and I think there's a Beaufighter and FW190. So I've always really been a fan of the Dogfight double. Really enjoyed it. And so, of course, these days, Airfix tend to make a little gift set of them, and you get the paint and the, the glue and the brushes included. So this came home with me. So there we are. It's the really fantastic, in my opinion, Airfix 172 Mustang and the fairly recent ME 262. Let's have a little look inside the box. So here it is, the Airfix 172 Messerschmitt ME 262 A-1A and the P51D Mustang Dogfight double. This kit is serial number A50183. It's a Dogfight double, and because it's a gift set, it includes the necessary paints, a couple of brushes. And to be fair, I find these little Humbrol brushes to be quite reasonable, actually. Not bad at all for general use. And a little tube of Humbrol poly cement, which I don't tend to use. The box has the usual adornments and two really nice little images of the subjects here, and a little write-up. 2 flying hours for this one as well, for those of you that collect the flying hours, and then a nice little illustration on the back of the models as completed and on their stand. No intentions to build this imminently, but I feel that when I do, I think I would do the models with gear up and mounted on this stand. Nice way to display. So there's a little description there as well, which if you pause the video you can read in your own time. I have already opened the box and the bags inside as well, so I shall do so again. The box is kind of like a sleeve, and the for want of a better expression, the sort of shoebox innards come out, and here we are. So first of all is that stand that I referred to is included here, and there's a flat section there where you can put a decal that describes the models. The bag of aforementioned paints, glue and brushes, as we all come to expect with these gift set Dogfight doubles. The canopies, so these are the canopies from the Messerschmitt, which naughty boy, I should have put back really, but didn't. The first bag I come to is the ME262. So I'll lay it flat out on the workbench for you so you can have a good look see. There are 3 frames, and how many parts are there altogether on this model? Let's have a little look in the book of words and see. I'll come back to the decals later. Don't know, can't see the part count on this, I don't know, but not many. I'd say in the sort of like the 50s thereabouts. So frame C, frame A. Let's start with frame A. So what we've got on here is a little representation of a pilot. Not sure how accurate he would be for the prototype. The engine nacelles. The one that I'll be using is the closed undercarriage section. Some jet pipes here, undercarriage wheels, various fittings and fixtures. The fan blades for the engines, undercarriage legs there, undercarriage assemblies. That looks like it's yes, that's the housing for the nose wheel. So if you actually look in there, there's a reasonable bit of detail inside the nose gear housing there. The lower wing section here, with panel lines nicely represented, not too deeply cut, and I can't see any astounding amounts of flash on here. So that's frame A. This will be frame B. Upper wing surfaces, tail vertical stabilizers, a couple of little bombs there, and looks like some sort of wing spar there as well. And I guess that's the undercarriage door for the wheels up option, and a radio antenna there, which looks like the sort of thing that I'll be hunting for on the carpet in due course. Frame C, very nice fuselage halves, bit of extra clag on there around that hole for the aerial wire, which we'll have to sort out in due course. That's, or I don't know, maybe that is raised, it's supposed to be raised like that, but we'll have a good look at that. And so I've seen an ME262 in real life at the Imperial War Museum at Hendon, and there's one there, and I've always thought that the fuselage contours, the shape of the fuselage is very reminiscent of a shark. Very, very efficient shape for an aircraft, I feel. So I'll put these back in the bag. So there's the ME262 packed away back in the bag, ready for the great day to come when it's built. Next up is the P51 Mustang. Just 2 frames on this one. Now, bearing in mind that this is a kit that we can get for £2.99 in Aldi at certain times of the year. So, you know, but what astounding value for money that really is, because I've built probably 4 of these now, and I've got as many already in the stash. There's one hanging on my son's ceiling as well, and I've always thought, fantastic little model. In fact, I built the you may remember that I built the Top Gun Mavericks P51 Mustang, and I've always really enjoyed putting these little kits together, taking good time over them, because the paint job, as in this one, there's always little bits of detail to add in on the paintwork. So to look at the sprues in detail, this is sprue A. And as you can see, the fuselage halves, the flaps, the cockpit tub, for want of a better word for this type of aircraft, not really a tub, but the cockpit assembly there, pilot's seat, and undercarriage, which I shan't need because this is going to be wheels up, as I said earlier on. Horizontal stabilizers, and a couple of I guess they're long-range fuel tanks for this one. They're not bombs, are they? So these are the fuel tanks, and the air screw there. So that's frame A. And then frame B, so this is frame 2 of 2, has got the main wings, the upper and lower wing surfaces, exhausts, undercarriage, main undercarriage covers, and the part of the spinner assembly, and the undercarriage up door covers as well. There's the instrument panel there, which has got a decal, and then this runner for the cockpit canopy as well. So so there we are. That's the Mustang, and there's also a sprue of clear parts. And I seem to, yes, I believe that you can. In fact, I've done it myself. You can actually build this model with the cockpit in the open position. So that's that. And then turning to the book of words, or the book of pictures. It's the typical Airfix format that we've all come to know and love. Multilingual explanations there. First up is the Mustang, and you start with the cockpit, bang the fuselage halves together, wings, they really fit very, very well. I find they just slide into position nicely under the fuselage. Option for flaps up and down, and there we are, all together nicely. Little bits to add on to air intakes and so on, and the radiator shutter there, or the cooling duct, I'm not sure where it is, I'm no expert on these things. Undercarriage options here, pilot and cockpit cover. Very, very nice colour scheme. I love it. I love a bit of colour on an aircraft like this. So there's the obligatory anti-glare panel, and then the yellow nose. So that's going to look really cool, really nice. And the decals are smart as well. There's some nice colourful decals for the Mustang, with the toned down D-Day markings there. Onto the ME262, again, very, very clear instructions. I watched an episode of Sprue Talk on YouTube on Airfix's channel recently, and they showed how they compile the instructions, which was very, very interesting and a highly recommended watch. I like the way that they highlight the bits and pieces in the instructions, so it's all very, very clear. So there we are. So the ME262 quickly takes shape as you build it. And there, that's a good illustration actually of the shape of the fuselage, and showing the you know, the characteristics of the shark type shape of it. Fairly easy to put the engines together, look, and you know, I don't think anybody's going to face any real difficulties with putting this model together at all. I'll be doing the wheels up option, so that's going to be simple. So there it is, ME262. Looks like you can have the canopy open. Of course, this one is hinged on the starboard side, so you can have your canopy open if you so wish. And so looks like it's going to be an enjoyable little build, putting the color scheme up the right way. I found a image on the internet of this this color scheme, and it's described as bare metal, so I think we'll avoid Humbrol number 11 for that purpose and find something a little better. But there it is, fairly simple all over color scheme, and just a few details to do in other colors, but for my purposes it looks like it's going to be all over bare metal. So there it is, guys, the ME262 and Mustang Dogfight double instructions. Last thing to show you will be the decal sheet. Again, very, very good quality, as we come to expect from Airfix these days. Lots and lots of stencils for such a small model, in each case, in actual facts, for the Mustang and for the Messerschmitt. Lots and lots of little detail stencils, which will really bring the aircraft to life, with some lots of lots of detail, as I was trying to say. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that presentation of this, what I think is an excellent Dogfight double set from Airfix, and always a strong favourite of mine. Going in the stash for now, but who knows, maybe sooner rather than later it will be a build. Thanks for watching. So for now, it's best wishes from me, from Pete's Plastic Playground, to everybody watching. and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for tuning in, thanks for subscribing, and see you next time. All the best and happy modelling. Cheers.